Hi everyone, welcome to Shelf Control. I'm Norm, and today I thought I would do a video on 5 games that you won't see on the channel, except for this video, of course. Unless things change, these are games that probably will not get any coverage for various reasons, and I'll discuss those as I go through them.
I've been going through them.
And?
Without any further ado, let's get started. First will be a honorable mention.
Honorable mention? How insulting.
I make it an honorable mention because it's already showed up in so many different videos, but it's the first edition of Twilight Imperium. When I saw this, I picked it up with the intention of playing it and comparing it to the 3rd and 4th editions, which I already have. I believe years ago I played 2nd once. I can't really speak to that game.
I didn't play it smart. I played it safe.
This was the first one that started the whole thing, and so when I took it off the shelf and opened it up, it hadn't been punched out. And so I don't have the heart to punch the pieces out. It's the base game and all the expansions. And so for me, it's just a decorative collector's piece.
Interesting decor. It's subtle.
Unless I can find another copy of this for cheap that I'm willing to open up and maybe play around with, this one will not get reviewed on the channel. So that was just an honorable mention to get that out of the way. Another quick one to get out of the way. We've got a copy of Payday here.
Cause I don't swallow knowledge and I spit it for free. Let me clear my throat. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was.
This was this Payday was one that me and Lisa had found at a yard sale for like a buck or something, and it was like, I remembered playing it as a kid, she remembered playing it as a kid, and it was like, let's just have a day of spend $1 and play a game of Payday. And it was pretty bad. It was not fun, not balanced in any way, and it's one that it's like, did we waste $1? Probably.
Oh, he's wasting millions of dollars.
Another game that we have is the Dungeons and Dragons. I believe this is the 5th edition. And so we got this. We used to play this years ago. I did. My wife hadn't. And so I've got these books here, but the RPG, it really, you need a nice dedicated group that wants to play it. And technically, while it's a tabletop game, it probably doesn't fit into the board game market. My son David has expressed an interest in playing, and his friends. I don't know if they would want to are looking to play here or what, but as it stands, we're not going to see coverage of Dungeons and Dragons unless something changes in the future. So then you've got these games here that kind of fit into the same category of games. We have Doomtown here. It's a living card game.
Alive! It's alive!
Kind of like Magic the Gathering, where you have a big set of cards and you construct your own unique deck to play with and challenge against other people's custom decks. Doomtown and the Legends of the Five Rings game both are that kind of game. And while I used to enjoy these, I picked up Doomtown because I really liked the idea of the poker hands that you could make.
Poker.
Poker.
And you could set up your deck to favor certain poker hands, but then there were cards for cheaters. If you got like 2 queen of spades in your hand for your poker hand, you could get punished by a cheater. This seemed like such a fun idea. The rules were a little bit complicated to get around at first, so I never really got into it, which kind of goes to the main problem with these kinds of games. I really enjoyed the original Legend of the Five Rings when it came out. It was my collectible card game of choice, and Fantasy Flight came out with the living card game, where instead of being collectible, you'd buy the pack that has everything in it. But they changed the rules a lot that didn't quite have the same feel as the old game for me. And the problem with these games, these living card games, is that they're almost a lifestyle game.
Sure, the Cowabunga lifestyle.
One game that I didn't put out here is Netrunner, because I have a lot of Netrunner on the shelf. I used to play that when Legends of the Five Rings stopped doing their thing and became the living card game. I got into Netrunner, and I really enjoyed that. But it kind of has to take over your gaming life if you seriously want to play and enter some tournaments, which I had. And it's one of those where it's almost like you really have to delve into the individual cards.
If you have to ask how deep, you haven't gone deep enough.
The rules and the depth and the strategy of play, if you want to be in any way competitive. If you just take this casually and go to a gaming store to play against somebody else who's playing this as a lifestyle game, you're just going to get wrecked, and it's not going to be very much fun. But so I never really got into the Legends of the Five Rings living card game. Doomtown I bought with the intention of getting into, but reading the rules and then trying to figure out, what's the best deck construction, and then you would just play with the suggested constructed decks in here, but they didn't quite feel quite right. Not the experience that I remember when you had a specifically tuned deck in Netrunner, where everything seemed to just like run smoothly. You didn't get that experience from the pre-constructed decks, and it wasn't just fun to play with those. And so we don't have the time to put into really getting into these games and enjoying them. But you might see us do a video on Netrunner, because I really enjoy that game, and would be curious to see if Lisa would enjoy it. I used to play with my son and his friends. I had a bunch of decks pre-constructed that I would just give them one of the decks, and I would take one of the decks and play against them, and they were pretty well tuned decks and were fun to play. So that might be something that she'd be interested in, and we'll see if we get that on the channel. And then the last one here is this game called War of Honor, which is a Legend of the Five Rings board game that basically turns the card game into a board game, where you have pieces out on the board as a map, but realistically you're just playing the old L5R, and the board changes the game state a little bit. And so if you would like go to invade somebody's lands, then you would play a game of L5R, Legend of the Five Rings, and then if you won that land, it would give you a special power that when you then invade somebody else's land, you might be able to use that. And it might have been fun for people who were big fans of L5R, but by the time that this came out, the L5R was on its way out, and we never actually got to play this. And it's not a game that I think would be worth teaching people how to play the card game of Legend of the Five Rings to then teach them how to play this game in order to review. And so that's another game that basically, because of the time commitment involved, will not be on this channel. This is a really quick video of games that you won't see. Looking through my shelves, it seems like I did a pretty good job of amassing some games that are interesting to play.
Obviously, they're pretty good.
So, yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these. If you would really like to see us cover one of these, and you can make a convincing argument, you might actually get us to see it. I am tempted with the Twilight Imperium First Edition. I've got my eyes out for another cheap copy of that, maybe one that's already punched so it doesn't hurt my feelings. So anyways, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.